Yo, what's going on, man? This your main boy. Today we're gonna have an upgrade. We're gonna change the foam diffuser or the foam panels. This little foams that we got. Yeah, I'm gonna retire those. So goodbye to that foam thing. We're gonna upgrade to a sound panel. We're gonna DIY a rock wool sound panel, and I'm gonna show you how we did it.
Now, if you haven't touched any power tools in your life, it's nice to have a backup person that knows how to use it. Do not lose a finger in the process. So here we got nice clean cut. We are putting it together. It's just like putting a Lego puzzle with screws in it. Pretty easy.
So first frame is done, exactly 30 inches width and 48 inches length. We added a support for the inside and both ends. That way we can just put in the rock wool. Since you're already invested in it, I decided, aside from screws, I'm gonna put some liquid nails. I saw this from the guy on YouTube, and I think it's a very good tip, so we're gonna do it.
And yes, we did some liquid nails. It's only $1.82, guys, so you're already invested. It's nice to have that extra reinforcement that you put in all of this frame, since it's very big and wide and tall. In the process, some cleaning up is nice as well, because I don't like really a messy, basement. But if you can see it here, guys, we got some holes beside the frames. Before anything else, we put that nylon mesh. It's very nice mesh that can hold and support the rock wool when we are ready to lay it inside the frame. But other than that, you can see those holes that can help some filter or make it more effective. Heavy duty stapler in the process. Make sure you got the heavy duty one, because I got bumped up with good stapler, but it didn't went through. In the process as well, this is where we put the cloth. Just cut it like a gift wrapper. You don't have to be a pro in doing this, but straight up cut it whatever you want it in, as long as you have that enough stretch. So here we're gonna have our J hooks in the ceiling mounted in the stud. That made it more easier, so I decided to put the top first. That way I can follow through in the bottom. So following the big ones.
So we're finally done with our project, and it turns out pretty well. I can tell a lot of difference between foam and the DIY acoustic panels, and I'll show you exactly where we put it at. I ran out of fabric, so I got a different color in this one. It's a natural finish. I love it when do my podcast here. It's definitely got that nice filtering, and it's not like foam anymore, man. And one of the biggest panels, that's the first panel that we made. It's called Cloud. Put it in the ceiling, and you can see that in the sideways of the frame, actually in all those side panels in the wood, you can see a little bit of holes. What we made, pre-hole that we made, because they said that it really does make more effective for the sound panels to get those little frequencies that gets into the side, and it can filter it out regardless of its effectiveness. But we got it. Same as here. This is the 6 foot that we did. That's the longest one that we got. It's like around, I would say, 30 inches on the weave. It's like 40 inches, but 5.5 feet length. Another cloud we got. It's the smallest, which is hanging in there with some J hooks. And I have some more spare parts. Maybe I can make 4 feet like lengthwise, and like maybe I would say 5 inches or 7 inches, which you can put an accent. Maybe I can put on the top of the barn door right there, or just standing in here, or behind the lights. But basically we used all of our what do you call this, materials. I'm stuttering. We used every single thing. 12 pieces of wood. There's like barely nothing left, not even a foot of wood. So 12 pieces overall, man. I'll put in the description all the cost and the materials that we used in this build. But to sum it up, we paid $171 because we had a stapler. The heavy duty stapler, it shouldn't be included in there, but bought it. Materials wise, it's $151, but with the heavy duty stapler, that's $20, so $171. If you ask me, it's pretty amazing. Before I go, I'll show you the booth. So what we got right now, guys, is we are inside the booth, and this is the actual setup and the actual usage of what we just built. So basically, I made this little space in the corner of the office to do my voiceover, some audiobooks, and some little projects that involve with, dealing with sounds. And since we cannot afford to build a whisper room, so this is what we came up with. And I think for the cost and to justify, if you have enough revenue, I don't think it's really practical to get the whisper room, because if you're familiar with the whisper room, it costs around, the cheapest is around $4,800, and that's a lot of thousands. And in my honest opinion, if it counts, if you don't make that much money yet on doing the gig, voiceover, and all that stuff, it's kind of hard to justify to spend that much money. Although it's a highly competitive environment or, career, it still is a big investment and you want to assess it. But other than that, there are some DIY booths that you can build for under $1,000, but there's involved of like heavy duty 2x2 studs and those frames and plywoods that you want to put into it. And I don't want to dip in that type of project yet, because first off, I got to get an approval for the wife. And trust me, I attempted it, but I failed. Then she said yes. But overall, I stepped back and looked at all the scenarios, and yeah, this is what we came up with. But other than that, guys, my impressions here is the foam was a little bit dark, maybe the color. The low rumble, definitely, I'm gonna give you this quick hit, man, because my brother's room is right across the corner, so he pays and rents a room here in my house, yeah. And when he snores, it is definitely low frequency, and you can hear it, regardless of how I covered all with foams, with some, I had some movers blanket underneath, because part of this dilemma that I got in this room, I got a barn door. And on top of that, the barn door is glass, which is the highly most reflective thing in sound that can, bounce all over the place. So I have this little mover's blanket behind me just to absorb this frequency when I talk like this. Since now I got this awesome DIY sound panel that we did. But I already made it. Why do I feel like we're making a podcast episode here, man? But other than that, guys, I'm not going to rumble here anymore. But other than that, these panels are worth it. I mean, if you can hear the quality of this one, raw format, this is what we got. If you have any questions, put that in the comments. We get it. We already posted some episodes using, the podcast, and okay, man. But if you like this build, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. If you wanna learn about other builds and some materials that we use here, let me know in the comment section, and we'll rock it. Peace out.